What's up, War Room? Welcome back to another episode. We are answering your Discord questions, a lot of NFL draft questions tonight, unsurprisingly, because it's our first War Room of the offseason. Connor, we made it. It's our time. It's our season. How we feeling, my friend?
Good. It's an all too familiar feeling. We are in the mold of people starting to fall in love with certain prospects for the 10th overall pick and debates and many different thoughts and a lot of, you get plenty of contrarians. And I mean, this time of the year, you and I were laughing right before we turned the mics on tonight that we almost forgot how busy it gets for us as soon as the season ends. The Jets are either doing a coaching search or front office stuff, or even when guys aren't let go, it goes right to the draft and free agency. And you could hear a little urgency, I think, in the pressers. Even Joe Douglas spoke. I felt like he had like three quotes that, it just feels, for the three quotes at best. And I don't even know if he was sitting with actual humans or what it was. But the bottom line is you could just tell that he knows they have to win. And
yes.
I've said this before on this podcast. There's part of that scares you because what are they going to do? I mean, these guys are all in the last year of their deals. If you put yourself in their shoes, you would pull every lever possible, even if it meant sacrificing the future to a, dangerous degree. But the other side of it is not just us as content people and Jets fans. There's also a chance to do a lot of great things and
Of course.
Caring about winning and putting together out the best roster and all of that is real. You have to be excited about that. So it's going to be a wild ride. Buckle up starting now.
The fact that Joe Douglas referenced his record the way he did, I thought was a dead giveaway that he's an avid War Room and Badlands listener, as many people tweeted us and flagged to us. And we've known that. We know they're listening. We know we're chiming in. So
somebody in that building does.
Somebody does. So we're going to talk a little more about the end of the year hijinks, as we'll call them in the main pod. We're going to do some NFL draft stuff now. I'm going to start this off with a question from Zodiac, which actually I think is great because I would ask the same question to you too. The adopted son of Badlands, how does Fuaga compare as a prospect to Darnell Wright and Broderick Jones? So basically, how is this dude ranked compared to the tackles that you have liked and we have liked in recent years?
That's a good question. I think, one, he's very different than those guys stylistically. In some ways, I'm pulling up my NFL draft rankings. I guess I could just go to my Twitter for the quickest way. I liked last year's tackle class. We talked about on this podcast way too many times Broderick Jones because for the longest time, where the Jets were picking, it felt like he had a really good chance of making it there. So much to the degree we warned them not to flip picks, and they did. And because of that, they didn't get him. And he had a nice rookie year with the Steelers. So looking at my tackle rankings last year, I had Paris Johnson, who went top 10, Broderick Jones, and those were my only two first rounders. I had Darnell Wright and Anton Harrison, who went in the first round as second rounders. I also had DeJuan Jones as my other second rounder. He went in the fourth and played almost like a first rounder when he was healthy. So, and the reason being is something interesting with Wright that might match Fuaga is in pass pro, I think they don't always bring their feet with them is something I say. And that's something that you get better with over time, but it's just how they get beat, right? Sometimes they could lunge a little bit. They're aggressive, but the thing about them that makes them so promising is also that aggression. These guys, Fuaga and Wright specifically, were mauling run blockers. And they're not people that just heard my first part are probably like, oh, I'm out. They're not bad pass protectors. Let's make that clear. Like Fuaga has gotten a lot better. He's a good pass protector. He's a true right tackle. He plays with a lot of power, really good grip strength, good size. Considering he's 340 pounds, 335, really good body. Like he carries it. He's a really tall, built, just big human being. Not overweight or not too big. I just love his nasty streak in the run game. Team captain as a redshirt junior. Like this is high character. You never see him push back, Fuaga. You never see him push back. The power, the anchor, the core strength. He trusts his core strength where he can keep a flat back when he's blocking. Like I said, the lunging is out of he just wants to kill people. Like that I have no problem with that. I don't like when guys lunge because they don't trust their strength in their core. The thing is with Fuaga, you hear all that and you go, big, nasty mauler. He had a 91.7 PFF grade as an outside zone run blocker. Like his tape, when you watch just the outside zone stuff, is surgical. He's good off the ball. He hits his targets. He can reach. He can cut off. He moves really well for his size and just dumps people as a dry blocker. So I'm a big fan. I think he easily justifies being a top 12 pick in this draft. The reason I say he's different than Broderick was that smooth move. Remember we called him Brick? Yeah. We were like, this is maybe baby DeBrickashaw. Brick was never. Yeah, right. It's kind of depressing when you think about it. Brick was never get off the ball and drive you to the sideline. Like Brick was great feet, good awareness, good movement, length. That was Broderick. Broderick, smooth pass protector, good mover. Wasn't going to pop his hands into your chest and uncork you 20 yards down the field. And that's okay. Like it's give and take with offensive linemen. So definitely different than him, but same grade, I would say at the end of the day. I'm going to have Fuaga as a top 15 player. I currently have him as the third tackle in this draft behind Alton Fashanu, ahead of a lot of good, talented players that'll go in the first round. So it feels like I'm getting the Badlands subscribers on board. Like I've seen a little chatter already. Now we just got to hope he's there.
Fuaga will be the most popular mock draft pick to the Jets between now and day one of the draft is my prediction. You're already starting to see it in some places. And listen, like they need that spot so bad that this feeds into our next question from Scotty. And I'm going to read a part of it because it's an interesting one. Like it's a two-parter. One, thoughts on Carter Warren. Where does he fit next year? Is he a starter? Is he a swing tackle? And the second part, rank in order of preference. Neighbors, Odunze, Fuaga, and Bowers. I'll give a quick answer, then I'll throw it to you. I think with Carter Warren, let's learn from our past history. Let's not use a small sample size and say a guy could be a starter going forward. We learned this with Max Mitchell.
Right.
We learned this with Brandon Shell to an extent, with the Jets at least, where like you take a 3 or 4 game sample size. Like Carter Warren, I'd rather have him be the top backup as a swing at either tackle position instead of Max Mitchell, but I'm not giving him a starting tackle job. Like you have to go get 2 new tackles next year. Hard stop. Can't be Becton. Can't be Dwayne Brown. Can't be Max Mitchell. Can't be Carter Warren. Go get 2 new starters.
Yep.
In terms of order of preference, like, look, my belief is that the Jets will add a major piece at wide receiver before the NFL draft. And if and when that happens, I'm putting Fuaga at the top. If Fuaga's gone, then I'm on to Bowers because I'm assuming the receivers are gone. Neighbors is going to be gone at 10. I think Odunze is probably gone at 10. I mean, maybe not. Do I think the Jets are actually going to take Bowers? Probably not. But when everyone asks me, what do you do if all the linemen and all the